Any support, okay.
So is it Ryze top lane? Or is it?
It's Ryze mid, Aatrox top,
okay,
Annie support. So Annie,
yes,
heavily nerfed through Suffocating. Rika here first means that SK should be able to secure the dragon without too much contest.
Yeah, so they're just having a field day in this top half of the map.
Alvaro has left his AD carry down towards the bottom side. Will jump in, World Ender coming out. There's the Weaver's Wall as well from Jojo. Looking for the CC now onto Genex. Alioya jumps in, tanks the tower, 2 shots, flashes away, and MKOI on the board.
Yes, Rika had gotten pushing that top side as everyone on Movistar had come through, but Supin still kind of held his own in mid, but Luffy now.
But the Incinerate has to flash across the wall here. Mirwin's coming across with an equalizer as well. 2 grubs down. We'll give the feat of strength over to SK, and with MKOI only having 3 players around, I think they're going to give up the ghost of fighting this one. All 3 grubs, Realm Warp forward in the lead. SK have set up around the Drake. There's the Tibbers into the CC. True Shot Barrage coming out, but Alvaro goes in with the quickness and procs it on all 3 members of SK. They can't escape. The collapse is rapid from MKOI. They manage now to take a bunch of damage off this mid lane tower. Genex coming in. The Aatrox still not doing as much as he would like.
Yeah, but still managed to get the flash from Super, but Movistar KOI set up well on the return punch. SK hoping to find some sort of pick, but now first dragon for Movistar KOI looking inevitable.
Now Rika has to flash away here as well, just trying to fight over something that he doesn't really need to fight over. Put back into the unraveled earth. Super gets his second of the game. The Infernal Chains comes out with a Grand Starfall, and that will be 1 in response. Genex able to pick up the kill. Newin laid down the equalizer. Bukada jump forward. Aegis Assault keeps him alive for now. Alioya still trading in. Kedui coming in from the side as well as he looks to join the fight. Alvaro forced low, but Genex forced lower. He goes back in a grave. Kedui getting chased out by Mirwin. The Flame Spitter will be enough if he had Leandri.
Going forward, Movistar KOI then start to run away. Then there's a few more foibles as we go into the bot lane.
Yeah, Genex is dead. Hex Drinker isn't going to shield you from the physical damage of Super. No mystery top lane. Small advantages gained wherever they can find them, but those advantages quickly being nullified by the fact that MKOI are bulldozing the rest of the map.
I think it's also just that they're always like, even here, it's a half step behind. You've lost bot tower, you will trade it for top, but it's another 30 to 40 seconds before you actually get it, which means that then Movistar KOI will be up here, they can get the next wave.
But the is out for now. I have to wait until we're about 25 minutes into the game. Genex caught in the side lane once again. His flash about to come off cooldown, but not quickly enough, methinks, as he's knocked up with a grand entrance. He makes a grand exit in a body bag. Yeah,
1 and 4 now. The Aatrox is CC chain to keep him in place, so nice job from Mirwin to escape away from that.
Really solid from Mirwin. Still back for the fight if one does erupt. Rift Herald, the only key point of neutral objectives, but you can still play for this mid lane tower. TP coming in. There's a Weaver's Wall to separate SK into 2 distinct entities. Rika comes in and is stuck between a wall and a very hard place. Super with his 5th of the game. We don't have any of those eliminations, but obviously it'll be harder for SK to make it through because they haven't picked up the win here. Rift Herald's going to charge in. It's gone past 16 minutes and 49 seconds, so MKOI not setting any records here. They will get won't quite get a second charge.
I face checked the last time around. Now this one's on you. You're like, no, I face checked last week because no one on this team wants to touch.
Or that Daisy's meant to be Annie's sister.
Something like that.
Yeah, something along those lines. Equalizer goes down onto Loopy. And Loopy, oh, the Realm Warp. Leandri's guys, come on, come on. You think you can escape them?
Yeah, it's a difficult one for SK. And I think, look, a lot of people kind of expected this. Movistar KOI have felt like they're on an absolute tear. I think there was the one series against Vitality where Lindsay said, well, now.
Oh, here he goes. Checks the wrong bush. Seismic shove. He misses, gets hit with the Tibbers. The chase is on. TP coming out, but the rest of MKOI are beginning to collapse, and SK are about to find themselves in a 4v5. Rika tries to get the Realm Warp out, but can't get back in before the quickness locks him down. Genex on the wrong side of the wall now. Will get a shutdown onto Jojo Pyun. Equalizer onto the backline. Bukada caught first. The quickness coming out as well, as Kedui is locked up, and Alioya will chase him down. Crescent Guard, more for the damage than anything else. It's an ace for 1 for MKOI.
SK got their man.
Your way through this MKOI lineup quickly enough, and there will be Atakan. It will be jungle camps stolen away as well. I will say
it's only really Jojo Pyun overextending that lets Genex come back through here as he tries to get the wall down.
Oh, Kedui's been caught out. Will try an arcane shift across the wall, but won't get there in time. He's dead. Mirwin's on a rampage.
I don't have to worry about it.
Wow, okay. You do have that, like, infectious laugh, you know?
That's why I giggle profusely. They're just forcing SK back.
Yeah.
And I think this is where that growth from Movistar KazaLoLLCShighlights has really impressed me, and why, like, I actually really enjoy
A couple of weeks now, at least for MKOI. Loopy goes in, great flash from Jojo. Realmore coming out as well, but that's the weave as well from Jojo to get himself to safety. The collapse beginning for Movistar KazaLoLLCShighlights as Alioya works his way around the bend. The quickness out, and there's the lockup onto Bukada. Loopy falls first, Bukada follows suit. The TP out from Rika to...
oh my god, I need to peace out, but there was just no hope. And at least it's Rika who ends up escaping away, but it is these constant Hail Mary plays you kind of have to make as SK, because otherwise you're just going to die.
Has got like 10 CS in the last 5 minutes of the game,
He's
right?
got 2 caps.
Yeah, exactly. They've just been suffocated. So SK are doing everything they can, trying to find gold wherever they can on the map. They'll take the bot lane tier 1, but MKOI taking an inhibitor in response. The next wave in mid, probably about 20 seconds away from crashing in here. So they have a little bit of time to wait, maybe less than that, maybe 10, as it will start to push in. MKOI only playing on 2 waves in total right now, top and mid. Bot wave a mile away from them. There's the Weaver's Wall to separate out the team. KazaLoLLCShighlights almost on the wrong side of the wall with the quickness coming out from Alvaro. He flashes forward into the equalizer. Loopy looking for the stun with the Tibbers as well, but it's only going to land onto Alioya. SK are able to retreat for now, but the chase continues from MKOI. Good seismic shove onto KazaLoLLCShighlights, but he begins to open up. Mystic shots hitting KazaLoLLCShighlights with the barrier, able to survive for now. The inhibitor will go down. MKOI likely to back away.
I mean, they got what they
that
want.
Mid-wave and forcing SK to have to play on 2 lanes at once.
SK are also desperately trying to get Rika up towards his items. Couldn't quite get the Zonya's Arrow's glass, but at least has most of it.
Oh, stun onto Alvaro. Will dash away just in time to escape the tower shots. True shot barrage comes through and Alvaro goes down. SK get their 3rd on the board in almost 30 minutes. And they delay the push out of MKOI.
But they didn't really have to use anything either. Loopy still has his flash, still has that ultimate up and available as well. So MKOI have to be a little careful as they try and move forward towards this, but letting the creeps do the work at the moment.
Yeah, you can see they're being very careful by just standing next to the cannon and saying, we can take a little bit of poke to make sure this all. And when Alvaro respawns, expect them all to reset and then push in with these super minions. Still haven't taken me to get back. Mirwin might try and keep him around. KazaLoLLCShighlights instead decides to reset his base, and now Mirwin's just going to burn him down. No barrier, no flash, no life left for KazaLoLLCShighlights. He will fall 20 kills to 3 now for MKOI.
Yeah, I appreciate the attempt, but the target selection isn't there. You can see right there, super immediate cleanse as Loopy tries to go on him.
Yeah, Grand Starfall coming out as well from Bukada. Aegis assaults backwards, knowing that's where all of MKOI are. Equalized down as well as Genex tries to survive through this, but just can't. Super flashing forward, pops the Featherstorm at the end, looking for the Quadra and will not claim it. Mirwin takes it. MKOI demolish SK in game 1.
That was clean from MKOI. Maybe it is the, hey, I want to go for double knockaway with both Silas and Gragas, but it feels a little strange. But Kennen from Mirwin to round it out. This is just so much AoE damage coming through from Movistar KazaLoLLCShighlights. Honestly, I think one big engage with no flash and no barrier for at least a little bit could mean that Mirwin could end up setting up for something. So you can see they have to play, well, actually MKOI realizing this.
Across the wall to safety.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard for Genex to really do anything, but yeah, you can see here, MKOI know how much damage they have, and that's a
nice stun onto Loopy from Mirwin. Alvaro claims first blood with the
first move onto Grubs, but Jojo is still a base, whereas Reeker just TP back in.
Yeah, Jojo doesn't have his teleport right now, so MKOI will get 1 grub, but they're going to be at a numbers disadvantage if they continue to fight this. Super working his way out of base right now. Mirwin's on the wrong side of the wall, does have the flash and might have to burn it to escape. Alvaro looking for the engage. Rika going in, has that slicing master, but missed the abscond abduct, or at least the chains part of it. MKOI will back away, and that is an example of MKOI being a little bit overeager, I think.
I think they were trying to buy time for Alioya's smite to come back up. You can see it was just kind of ticking. It was like, maybe we can steal one away, but yeah, when you already had Jojo Pyun moving fully down into this bottom side, Super still trying to compete on that mid wave as well. It just was never really going to be something that came from it, but still backing away. And I think it's just unfortunate for SK the Reekers of Sonic didn't connect, but now Loopy
looking for Alvaro. Shadowing strike going down. There's the CC onto Loopy, slicing Maelstrom from Rika with the absconder. Duck gonna get chased down as Rika gets SK's first kill of the game. Super answers with 1 onto the Gragas himself. Bukada's gonna get chased out here. We'll have the cooldowns up pretty soon. Jojo chasing Genex out of the bottom lane. But
I think they're eyeing up Reeker for the moment, so, but could do. He's still on midway first, so it's a little messy from MKOI to try and set this up, and good trade from Rika on this bottom side as well. I think MKOI have to give this one up.
Oh, flash forward into the keeper's verdict, stolen away. Alioy is going to have to flash away. The dog's chasing Jojo for a moment. Loopy coming in as well with an eye, a little bit of vision. He can go for the cast, but Jojo sidesteps it, puts down the gravity well as well, and will catch out Rika in the midst of it. That's 2 already. Jojo with a fancy feed. MKOI find 3 on the bottom side. Jojo, I think,
Need to go for the play. GenX had already walked down from the top half of the map, but you'll see it here. Like, they think they can get Jojo, but sidestep the cast, sets up beautifully, immediately puts down the gravity field as well, and then with Alvaro coming in, just buys a little bit of time, but yeah, it just ends up dying, I believe, to the bleed just off of the MKOI get the kills, they get Dragon, and they might look for Genix.
Yeah, looking at Jojo towards the top side, exhaust down onto Mirwin, and Lioya locks Genix against the wall, and Mirwin takes the kill. Meanwhile, the dive on the top side, Catalyst on this patch, it works really well. He teleports back up to the top lane. Did he buy items? I haven't seen the items updated at all. Maybe he just didn't have them. As Genix is caught down towards his bottom side, Mirwin flashing into the Hallowed Mist to make sure he gets the stun. Elioya slams him into the wall, and Super claims an objective, make a mistake on a map movement. Right now, they're not really doing that. Lost a couple of kills early on, but haven't really given up anything since then. Now, a 4,000 gold lead going to materialize.
I think it's just with the amount that's been invested here, it means you're kind of missing a chance to maybe look for Mirren on the bottom side, because the exhaust, I think, from Genix is up. No, maybe just slightly off, but maybe. Oh, hang on.
Loopy goes in. Alvaro there with Magnet Storm as well. Loopy locked up, and Yoya is going to take him out of the gravity well, but doesn't really matter as MKOI find 1. Chase for a little bit more here. Riftail going down. They'll try and crack the tier 1 in the mid lane. Bukada here to defend alongside Kedwi, but I don't really think they have the manpower to do so. Riftail's going to charge in. That tower's going to go down. Exhaust comes out from Genix, but the jump in by Elioya and Alvaro, slicing mouse from stolen away by Rika, but it just doesn't do any damn damage. He dies. Now Jojo is trying to chase Kedwi around the bend. He lands it! He went bowling, that's a strike for Jojo as MKOI, and there's not really much SK can do to stop it.
It's also like, if this wasn't...
Very appreciative of being in Madrid. Rika goes in, Alvaro here once again to defend his mid laner. Jojo's Arcane Storm doing a little bit more damage than Rika's. Both of them have gone the Rod of Ages, but Jojo has a full Leandries to back up his rod. Towers. It's not swift play. And Lua looking for Janax once again. Will knock him back. Mirwin going in for the chase. Needs those stacks to get the stun and finds them. Steps into the Hallowed Mist. And even the needles can't sew away MKOI. Yet to see SK get 1. In fact, most of the towers above half HP. Still those tier 1s. Jojo will be gifted over some of this local gold as MKX. You're just squashing everyone's dreams.
No, is it The Simpsons or something where someone talks about, like, not everyone could be the president?
It's true.
Yeah, and then you go in and you just tell anyone who wants to be the president, you know that's like 1,000,001 chance, whatever it is, and they just put them down, put them in their place. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense. Janak's trying to put Jojo in his place, but I don't think he wins this one. Okay, not everyone can be Jojo.
And he's not going to be president. Gaming has their whole life to be in charge of a country. The man can barely organize a fridge.
I'll give you that one. MKOI, though, we see Jojo picking up a kill. We see SK getting their first tower of the game, investing up towards that top side. Artican now for Movistar. And,
I was going to say, like, their early games have still been a little bit wanting.
They're still falling behind a little bit in the early games. It's true. So, setting up for playoffs pretty darn well. Loopy looking for the engage of it. Good dodge away by Super. Lightning Crash now stacking up. TP's coming out from MKOI's. Genex tries to get onto the backline, but he's going to be chased out now. Loopy and Rika very low as Rika tries to dash forward, but you just can't dash into that. Ricardo goes to the wrong place at the wrong time and is slammed into a wall. MKOI fighting with Drake up in 40 seconds. They can just look to push in these lanes, take the dragon, get the soul, and then close out the match.
It was ambitious from SK, but Movistar KazaLoLLCShighlights in a good position.
They need to lay those foolish ambitions to rest, don't they? Oh, nice from Elioya. Dashes to a minion, pops the steadfast presence, so no Valkyrie out from Kedwi. And I think Kedwi,
especially with Rika having stolen the ultimate, like that's quite a lot of AP damage based off of the, well, you nearly got to see it there, but yeah, I think it's just
down to 8,000. Bukada looking for a possible steal angle, but I don't know if he's ever gonna find it. Could eviscerate over the wall, but Alvaro, yeah, is just keeping him marked the entire time. MKOI will get the Baron. TP comes out from Genex as well, as perhaps they look to collapse around the kill, but TP tentative at best, ambitious, we will say. But they need to do like Margit and get Margit out of this mid lane now.
Yeah, 3v4 and you're running for the hills is never a good look, especially as Jojo Pyun is still moving through top side.
Look at Bukata, he's just being chased by Alvaro the entire time.
Dog versus horses.
Yeah, horse wins. Horse wins. Riki goes in with the slicing maelstrom, counter slicing maelstrom used by Mirwin, but he's the first to fall in the fight. Loopy will go down as well. A 1-for-1 the exchange. Bukata was chased out. MKOI will feel buoyed enough to continue pushing in. Third kill of the game for SK. That's how many they got in game 1 and might be where they end up in game 2 too. Yeah.
100 Rels versus Gorilla.
Let's not get into this, okay? Because 100 Rels would 100% win. I don't think people realize, like, the whole 100 people versus a gorilla thing, we conquered the earth with our hands. Like, we took down mammoths, like humanity. Obviously, I haven't taken down a mammoth.
What?
I know. I was going for the last one. They just ended up extinct just before, yeah.
Hate when that happens.
Super's going to chase Bukata out. Genax chase down towards the bottom side as well. Like, MKOI can win this game at any point now. It is just about which wave they decide to play on. You can see Mirwin TPing towards bot. Elioya keeping Bukata out of his own base. They're waiting for the super minions, which are next wave in mid, a wave away in top. There's triple inhib, so we'll get double super spawning. And SK relegated to defending their Nexus towers.
I mean, the towers are gone. Like, this is just a slow demise of SK, and for Movistar KOI, it's a nice ascent into playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, MKOI in superb form right now. They'll find another 2. And SK really couldn't put up a fight. MKOI, off the back of a great performance in Madrid, continue their winning ways and lock their spot in playoffs.
That was clinical.
Yeah.
Incredible stuff from Movistar stepping up. When it comes to Movistar KOI, it feels like they're really coming together on how they move around the map as a unit. Yeah. And that's been the most impressive part, is that it no longer feels like they have to rely on one stellar performance from someone. It's, no, as a unit, we shut down everything that everyone wants to do, and then we can still see those individual performances shine, but it's off of just a better foundation.
Oh, 100%. Like, you see the moments where, as you say, Alvaro is covering, well, Elioya is playing on the other side of the map, but then Jojo's also outplaying under a tower to make a 3v1 dive,
exactly,
not work out. It's really stellar stuff all around from MKOI, and I can't wait to see them in our playoffs against the Fanatics and the Carmine Corps and whoever else qualifies. It's weird not to say G2 in that, because the expectation obviously is that G2 get through, but they are only at 3 wins right now. Like, it's 4 wins because they won yesterday. It's quite possible that they might get knocked out of playoffs,
which is insane.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, but I think there is a little bit of, hey, look, G2 are struggling, but it does also feel like we've had step-ups from Fnatic. Obviously, KC, the big one there, but also from guys like Movistar KOI.
Yeah, 100%. We're going to hand it over to Ginny, who's standing by with Jojo Pyun, to maybe talk about how MKOI have stepped up over the last 2 weeks.
You know, that actually is exactly going to be what we're going to talk about. Welcome, everyone, to the Marriott Bonvoy post-game check-in. Congratulations! That was a really quick 2-0, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, it was faster than I expected, to be honest. But to be honest, when you're behind, as much as what happened, they have to try making plays, or it's kind of hard to come back. So it's like either you lose fast or you try winning, you know?
Well, it didn't work out for them, but it worked out for you guys. And with that, and this win specifically, you already locked yourselves in playoffs too. So looking at the standings that are coming up right about now, you guys are currently sitting on third, 5-3. When you started the split this summer, after the spring, after winter, were you expecting to see yourselves that high up on the leaderboard?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, to be honest, our series against KC, we should have won too, so I expected us to be higher. And the Fnatic, I mean, it was a crazy series. Everybody knows that, but I'm not too surprised. I think we're definitely contenders for the top.
When you're looking as well in terms of how this whole split has gone for you as an individual player, I know at the start, especially in winter, was maybe not that easy for you to like mesh. Also in terms of you're coming to Europe where there's like no sunshine, the food is very different, like everything is completely different. How are you looking back on the regular season so far?
I mean, I think a lot of it, to be honest, is kind of excuses for my performance. Like, yeah, that affected me, but it shouldn't affect me that much, to be honest. But I think right now I'm just playing much better. I think my standards are there, and I think my coaches are also doing a really good job on helping me play with how the team wants to play while balancing how I want to play. So it's going pretty good.
You're talking about having the standards there and improving as a player. That's been very apparent in a lot of the games that we're seeing. It feels like you're having a pretty big impact on being able to close out these games. What has been the work that you've been putting in behind the scenes to be able to do that?
I think just the whole team's very determined, and we all have drives just to win and want to get on the same page. And honestly, there's not really any ego displays from any of us. We just really want to find the best way how we should play the game, and I think it's going pretty good so far.
It sounds like you guys have kind of found like the perfect recipe for MKOI in general. How are you looking forward towards playoffs?
I mean, it's going to be Fearless best of 5, so I think we're going to scrim now in Fearless in 5 games, which will be much better, because I think we have so many champions that we still haven't shown yet, so I think we're just prepping for the drafts and what champs we want to play. And obviously our gameplay, just getting on the same page like always, and, you know, just not making things too complicated.
Stick to the basics. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Exactly.
Is there, you talked earlier about the series against KC, that should have been a win. Is that one of the teams you're looking forward to playing in the playoffs? Is that the rematch that you want?
I mean, I think KC, G2, Fnatic, any of those teams, because I think no other team comes close with us in the top 4 with all those teams. So all those teams can take it. We can take it. I don't really care who we verse. They're all good teams, so any one of them.
All right, well, thank you so much for your time. I
Thank
appreciate it. That's it from us here over on this side. We're going to be ready to head over to PGL with Shox and Alvaro, so take it away.
Thank you so much, Ginny. I believe, I don't know if this was fake news when I heard it, but I believe there is normally an accent on the A, but you don't see it in the in-game nickname, so it's Alvaro and not Alvaro, right?
Yeah, it is.
Not that I want to call anyone out, because I forget all the time, and it just was making sure. Welcome, congratulations on making it to the playoffs. In terms of how the split went, do you think, are you happy with the overall kind of level that you were able to hit, even though there were a couple of bumps in the road, let's say?
I mean, of course, I'm happy because in the end, like for me, the important part of the regular season is to get to playoffs, and now is the time that we actually need to deliver. I think in this case, for example, there has been